Welcome to the Heal Your Hunger Show, where we get to the heart of why you overeat and how to stop. If you struggle with food and weight like I did, welcome home. Hello and welcome to the Heal Your Hunger Show. I'm so glad that you've joined me here today. I've got a great, very short but potent, powerful podcast for you today. How about 3 P's for that? But before that, I just want to say that if you're here for the first time, welcome. I'm so glad that you've joined me. If you want to learn more about Heal Your Hunger, you can go to healyourhunger.com, and there I have an archive of podcasts, and I also have information about my book, Heal Your Hunger, as well as my program, The 7 Simple Steps to End Emotional Eating Now, and lots of other good stuff. So check it out at healyourhunger.com. But let me start by telling you about the 3 most harmful words for an emotional eater. And these are words that seem to not matter at all, but they matter a whole lot. In fact, emotional eating, because it's all about burying emotions with food, it's really important that we don't keep anything inside, that we don't slough off anything, that we don't act like things don't matter. So the 3 most harmful words for the emotional eater are just that. It doesn't matter. Why are these so harmful? Because everything matters when you're an emotional eater. Everything matters because emotional eaters are highly sensitive. We feel everything. We're very perceptive. We've got radar out for all kinds of things going on around us, emotions, moods, temperature of lots of different people all around us. We've got that antenna out, and everything matters to us. And yet, so much of the time, internally or externally, we actually say it doesn't matter. And so what do? We end up overeating over everything that we pretend doesn't matter. And in order to stop overeating, it's really important that you start paying attention and realizing that things do matter, okay? What you eat and put in your body does matter. If you're trying to lose weight or trying to be good in your diet and you're eating ingredients that you might be addicted to, it matters. So don't go order something and say, there's sugar in it, there's flour, there's, high whatever, something that that you can get triggered by. When you eat those things and you say, it doesn't matter, guess what? You're just making it 10 times harder for yourself to abstain from those foods. And so it does matter. It does matter the ingredients that you put in your body. When somebody hurts your feelings and it's ostensibly not a big deal, and you think to yourself, I shouldn't be hurt by that. I know, they mean well, blah, blah, blah. Guess what? Even though you say it doesn't matter, in your heart of hearts, it does matter. And you do remember, and you carry that hurt around with you. And guess what? You end up overeating over it. And so it does matter when we have our feelings hurt. So often, emotional eaters don't speak up, okay? When we've got something to say, we bite our tongue because we're always jockeying, thinking, if I say that, she's going to think this, or he's going to do that, or they're going to react this way. And so we say nothing. We don't speak up, and we think, it doesn't matter. Guess what? It matters. When we don't speak up and express ourselves, we end up stuffing it. I say it or stuff it, and that's what happens. If you don't say it, you will stuff it. When we have feelings inside that we want to express, perhaps love and affection, and we hold back because we're afraid, we don't want to be rejected, and we say, it doesn't matter, I don't have to express that, or, it's safer if I don't. Guess what? It does matter. So not expressing yourself can turn into a terrible binge. It can turn into stuffing those emotions of love and affection for other people. Whether it's good or bad, we stuff our emotions, and we stuff our positive ones just as much as we stuff our negative ones. When we have sexual feelings, when we have strong, emotional eaters have a strong sense of sexuality, but so much of the time we tamp it down with food, with excess weight. We're trying to shut that valve down because we don't want to feel it. We don't want to acknowledge our sexuality. Perhaps we've been abused in the past. Perhaps it's been gnarly for us, or it's a confusing topic for us, and the feelings are so strong that we don't know what to do with them. It's hard to negotiate them. We're trapped in our childhood persona where it just seems like it's bad. Perhaps we have religious connotations around sexuality. Whatever it is, so often emotional eaters completely shut down their sexuality, and they just act in the world as if sexuality doesn't matter, as if their being a sexual being is insignificant. Well, guess what? It does matter. It matters that you're a sexual being. It matters that you express that in some healthy way. So it matters. It really does matter. So much of the time we keep a wall up. We have a wall around our heart because we're afraid to love, we're afraid to express, we're afraid to be close with anybody. So we keep this steel wall around our heart. We might have gotten hurt when we were young, and we decided subconsciously or consciously, I'm never going to let myself be hurt again. And guess what? That wall around our heart, which we think is keeping other people out, turns out to imprison us and keep us in. It traps us. And so it does matter when you have a steel wall around your heart. Taking risks in relationships, guess what? That matters. So much of the time we don't take risks. We hold back and we think, I'll let them make the first move. I'm going to play it safe. Well, guess what? When we play it safe, when we don't play all out, when we don't put ourselves out there and risk, we need to risk. When we don't do that, it matters, and we end up stuffing it. Everything you feel that you deny, you end up stuffing with food. So it does matter. Saying how we really feel about the situation. If someone asks our opinion, they ask our opinion. They've opened the door for us to say how we really feel. And we say, I'm fine with it, or I agree with you. So much of the time we say that and we're not being honest. Guess what? It matters. When we don't say how we really feel, it matters. And we end up stuffing those opinions, those feelings. And we also punish ourselves for being cowardly. When I didn't say how I felt and I was so afraid of what people thought of me that I went along all the time with what other people were saying, in deep down, I hated myself for that. And I would chastise myself as being a coward. Well, you're doing that too. Every time you don't step out in faith, every time you don't step out with confidence and you bury what you think, what you feel, guess what? You end up in the kitchen overeating over it. Overeating doesn't just happen. Emotional eating doesn't just happen. It happens when we stockpile emotions, when we keep things trapped inside. That's when we have troubles. That's when we turn to food. And that's virtually all the time, because probably our three most thought words or spoken words are, it doesn't matter. If somebody hurts our feelings, it doesn't matter, right? If we have cravings inside, perhaps we have desires for travel or for a new position at work or an entire new career or to hang out with somebody or to experience new experiences. We have these desires welling up inside of us, but we talk ourselves out of them because we think, oh, it's going to cost money, or oh, I have to take a risk, or oh, I might fail, or oh, I don't want to be embarrassed. So we just shove it down and then we eat over it and we keep it locked down with food. Well, it does matter. When we have desires in our heart, a desire is, in Latin, it stands for of the Father. So it's really a desire that's spiritual. It comes from God, of the Father. Father standing for God, a God figure. We know God isn't a man, but still, the idea that desires they well up from within, from a very deep, soulful place, and they're meant to be listened to. They're meant to be heeded and acknowledged. But what do we do out of fear? We tamp them down with food, and we say it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that I'd like to have another job, but I don't, that I stay in the same job year after year, even though I hate it. It matters. What you do matters, okay? And so I hope that you're getting the point here. When we don't acknowledge what's inside of us, our thoughts, our feelings, our desires, our hurts, our questions, when we don't express those things, when we don't acknowledge them and express them, and we slough them off and say it doesn't matter, we shrug it off and say, it doesn't matter. It matters a whole lot, and we're hurting ourselves, and we're causing our emotional eating. And that's really the point here, is that emotional eaters must begin to heed what's inside, acknowledge and express what's inside. And that doesn't mean you have to go telling everybody what you think of them or your opinions about everything, because not everybody really wants to know. But there's ways to express ourselves in writing, in talking, in prayer, in soulful conversations with people who understand and care, with people who have the same thoughts and feelings, expressing ourselves, getting out of ourselves, and really opening up the gate to let this stuff out is going to free us from the cravings to emotional eat, from the need to clamp everything down and tighten down the hatch with food and fat. So I hope this makes sense. Everything matters. Everything matters. So no longer do I want you to utter the words either to yourself or to others, it doesn't matter. And I want you to start thinking it matters. And guess what? You matter. And that's really the point here. You matter, and you are worth beginning to open up and express yourself and recognize that you matter and it matters a whole lot. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
If you enjoyed this show and want to get free support, insider health info, exclusive invites to events, and more, visit healyourhunger.com.